Hey y'all, it's the Country Notary. Hope you're having a great day. As always, please like this video. Subscribe to my channel, y'all. Please help my channel grow by clicking the subscribe button. I'm calling this my busy day video. My busy day video. I actually surprised myself with how much I could get accomplished in one day today. Mind you, there were some things that I had on my schedule that I didn't get done, but I had a very productive day today, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'm going to just go in order, and all of this can be verified. I have receipts, literally. I have receipts. So just to give you a little encouragement, again, that the loan signing agent business is a great business to be in. Being a notary public is a great business to be in, even though refinances are down. There are so many other benefits to being a notary. And I learned that actually over the last week, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my week in a separate video. Even though I've already done a video about my week, multiple things happened this week, and I'm just going to split those up into separate topics. Today, my first signing was at 9 o'clock this morning. I met a couple at their real estate agent's office and closed their loan. It was great. Networked, met some new people, talk a little bit about networking relationships. Relationships are very important. This signer and his friend, I think it was either his friend or his sister, they had different last names, but they could have been related, but they weren't married. An unmarried couple purchased a home, and he owns a business, he owns a salon in the same shopping strip as a realtor, who he used as his real estate agent to find his home, and he and his partner, either his business partner or his sister or his girlfriend, bought the house. So relationships, they had built a relationship. He literally, I guess, just walked over one day and say, hey, I want to buy a home. And she was his real estate agent and helped him buy a home, which is great. And this is only my second closing that I've done inside of a real estate agent's office, which is a great plug, by the way. Other notaries have done videos on this topic. Get to know real estate agents in your market. Send business cards, marketing material, whatever you do to real estate agents, because they either have or don't have notaries on site. And in this case, I asked her, do you have a notary on site? She said yes, but she's not here today. And I'm not sure, because this notification came in a couple of days before, so it was scheduled. So I guess the in-house notary was not scheduled to be there today. But anyway, did the closing and met a new contact. I left some business cards with them as well, and they were very nice, very friendly. Hopefully they can use my services in the future. 9 a.m. So sadly, the day before, I was talking on the phone with my daughter, and I dropped my phone and cracked my screen. Now my screen is still cracked. I'm really upset about that. And why am I talking about that? The signing this morning was very close to the mall. So I've been to this particular cell phone accessory store on a few occasions. I buy covers and screen protectors from him, which I didn't have one on at the time because it had cracked. And I thought I'd run in real quickly to get my phone fixed. And because he was right near the real estate office, ran in real quickly, and he looked at my phone and he went to his computer and looked up some stuff, and he quoted me $380 to fix my phone screen. I'm like, what? Whatever happened to the days where you could get your phone fixed in an hour for $80? I'm thinking $100. Maybe I was willing to spend $100, get my phone fixed. So needless to say, I didn't get my phone fixed today. I do have insurance, and I'm going to call the insurance and file the claim. But I needed something done quickly because I had a busy day, and it's hard to, how much we use our phones. I needed my phone fixed, and I was willing to bite the bullet. And anyway, so afterwards, I was very tired, as always sleepy, didn't get enough sleep the night before. I decided to go to Starbucks and buy myself a Frappuccino with 2 extra shots of espresso because I had a long day ahead. And I had a scan bag as well. But I was also hungry. So I stopped at a local IHOP. I was actually going to stop at the vitamin shop because I needed to buy something, but the IHOP was right next door. So I said, okay, I'll stop at the IHOP, go to the vitamin shop, go home, do the scan, etc. Stopped at the IHOP. Why am I saying all this? I'm going into a lot of detail. At the IHOP today, I made 3 business calls. I made a phone call to a local landlord, an investor. I'm going to call him a landlord because he owns multiple properties. And I reached out to him a couple of days ago and inquired if he was looking to sell any of his properties. And he said yes. He gave me the address. I drove out a couple of days ago, looked at the property, took some pictures, and we've been negotiating on the price for the last couple of days. Yesterday, I took my contractor to the property. We looked at the property. My contractor gave me an assessment of the rehab cost because it needs some work, especially some work to the garage and the fence, and used that again as part of my negotiations with the landlord to get the price down. So we talked at the IHOP for about 5 or 10 minutes. I was successful in getting the price down, but not low enough where it met my numbers. I'm going to do a video shortly on my week at learning, my week, literally last 7 days, learning the wholesaling business. It's a whole video by itself. I've had a lot of time on my hands this week because school is closed. Amongst loan signings, general notary work, I've been doing a lot of research. I'll get to that later. So got the price down, but still couldn't make the numbers that I needed. And I did tell him I would call him back by the end of the business day. And I did, but he didn't answer. But he'll call me back tomorrow because that's how we've been communicating all week. Second phone call I made today was to my bank. I called my banker, my credit union, talked to a person who works in the business services department about their requirements for the purchase of unimproved real estate, unimproved land. Part of my research this week, again, I've done countless hours of research, phone calls, discussions, videos on purchasing unimproved land. My business partner and I my business partner came across a large tract of land in our city that, excuse me, something's going on with my braces. I can't talk and it's sticking me. A large tract of land in our city, and the price per acre is pretty good, and neither one of us are in a position right now to make that purchase. Well, maybe they may be. I'm not quite in a position right now to make that purchase, and we're figuring out ways where we either can partner up and make that purchase because the land, we assume that land's going to appreciate greatly because there's a development going on right down the street, and the value of the lots in that new development are very expensive. So we're assuming that this particular plot of land can potentially be very profitable if we buy it and then eventually sell it and flip it later. So we've been doing research all week, and I talked to my banker, and she gave me the requirements of a unimproved business loan to purchase land, and she sent me an email. So that was my second meeting. That phone call took about 5 or 7 minutes with my cracked up phone screen, and I dropped the call a couple of times. I couldn't see on the display. It was a mess, but got through that. Learned a lot again. And my third phone call, that same IHOP session, was with a new partner that I met, a new business partner that I can't say met through a Facebook group. And we've talked on the phone now 3 times this week. And when I talk about the value of relationships, he's a business partner that I met. He's a real estate. He's a wholesaler and a real estate investor. I reached out on Facebook with a question about wholesaling, or made a statement about being available in this market to learn wholesaling. Basically, if anyone's willing to teach me wholesaling, I'll be on the ground and do work for them, and generate leads or whatever legwork they might need done in exchange for mentoring. I just put it out there. I had free time on my hands this week, and I was reading posts, kind of seeing the dialogue of how people communicate in these Facebook groups, the investors, wholesalers, flippers, and I thought I'd give it a shot, and it worked, by the way. I probably received 20 different DMs from various people, including a few spammers, but mostly people with very valuable information of different topics, different types, explaining things to me, that questions that I had, answering questions that I had about the wholesaling process. And in the course of maybe 4 days, I probably learned, I would say, 100 hours worth of information. So second tip, if you want to know something, guys, there's multiple ways to learn it. Facebook groups is one, obviously just one example. YouTube, you're watching a YouTube video right now, of course, there's tons of information on YouTube. I probably also spent an additional 40, I don't know if there's 40 hours in this week watching YouTube videos. Maybe not 40. I'm exaggerating, because if it was 40, it would have been a full work week. But it maybe literally wake up in the morning while I'm driving. When I go to sleep at night, I go to sleep with videos, content, specific content to whichever particular topic I'm researching. And my knowledge has grown tremendously, literally in a week. I actually made a goal for myself on Saturday morning that I would learn the business of wholesaling in a week. And by the close of today, I literally made an offer on a property. I met a mentor. I talked to 2 investors, and had the price been right, I would have been able to publish that property and put it out for bids. And if someone had accepted it, and I could have assigned it, and would have been my first wholesale deal. But I did learn a lot, and I have tons to go. Tomorrow I have to go to a wedding, but when I get back on Sunday, I'm going to be back on the computer setting up my processes, my CRM. I have more to talk about. Relationships, okay? Relationships. So JJ's been a very good supporter. He's given me tons of information. The phone, we've been on the phone. Like I said, we've had 3 phone conversations. The first time he called me back after he saw my post, we talked for 2.5 hours. It was around midnight when we got off the phone. I was about to fall asleep, literally, and I took feverish notes while we were talking, typing in my Google Docs. The second day he called me, I called him, he called me back the next day, 1.5 hours, free, no charge for that conversation. Today at the IHOP, we probably talked an additional 30 minutes, and he is a very strong, powerful, impactful, I would have to just call him an educator, because he's given me so much knowledge, free, did not charge me anything. And we have the potential to partner up, including, he's nationwide. And I actually met one of the signers today, mentioned that his landlord is selling some properties. And I literally have someone that I can refer that landlord to, because JJ is nationwide. Okay, whole nother story. Relationships. Gave that signer my business card and basically told him to asked him to have his landlord call me, and I would refer them to a partner. Okay, so left the IHOP, came home, did the scans, and I had a 1 o'clock appointment to drop my car off at the dealership, because I have some electrical problems going on with one of my cars, and I need that car because it's my favorite car, and it's the best car on gas as well. So came home, did the scans, drove my car to the dealership, and luckily enough, they had the driver, porter, I don't know what you call it, because I don't use these types of, I'm not used to being spoiled. The driver who drives you home while your car is in service person. And I was like, really? Wow. I'm always doing all the services. Nobody ever has any, I never take advantage of these types of services. So the driver poked her head in, are you ready? Are you ready? So she dropped my car off, got my service, request, got my receipt, and the driver takes me home. And on the way home, we're talking, about a 10-minute drive. We're talking about the weather, about hurricanes. We live in Hurricane Alley, sadly. Talking about upcoming hurricane season and various things. And I used the word narcissist for some reason. We were talking about something, and I used the word narcissist, and she goes, you know what? I knew you were smart. You seemed like a smart person. You said a big word earlier, and it kind of caught my attention, and I was like, oh, thank you. And we were chatting. She goes, because I read. I'm a reader. She's talking about herself. I read books. And she went on and talked about how she reads books at night. She doesn't watch much TV. She's either reading books or watching YouTube. I said, wow, isn't that me too? And we exchanged numbers. And I built another relationship today. She is a driver for the Toyota dealership. And She drives and she knows the area very well. She also told me she used to drive the school bus, which is a big deal because in my new line of work, we need people on the ground who know the city well, who can generate leads for us. We're now in the business of buying abandoned, vacant houses and/or lots. And one of our marketing strategies now is to bring more people onto our team to help canvass the neighborhoods, canvass the streets, and generate leads for us. And we're going to, obviously give them referral fees for generating these leads if we're able to close on these properties. We have, sadly, in our area, I would say on any given block, even in the best neighborhoods in our area, and one of my signers today lived in a huge mansion. The hallways were bigger than my living room. Even in a nice neighborhood like he lives, almost every single block has a vacant house. And some of them are in rundown condition, even in nice neighborhoods. But for sure in the average but the B, C, and D class neighborhoods, literally every block has a vacant house. And we are in a really good position to get leads and start purchasing some of these properties. But again, separate video. So made another contact with her, third relationship. And then I went on to service my 3 o'clock appointment, guy with the big house, my 5 o'clock appointment, which was rescheduled a little bit later. Great guy. He was the guy with the landlord, another relationship. Gave him my business card. We had a lot in common. We talked about Tennessee and all kind of topics that we had in common. He was a travel worker. Talked about travel workers in one of my previous videos. We have a lot of travel workers that come to our area, so they're always they're not at home. They're not, so they need, when they need notaries, they need mobile notaries, and maybe have generated a lead with him as well. Sorry, I'm looking at my notary gadget and trying to talk at the same time. So very busy day. And then at the very end of the day, which was at 7:45, I went and got my hair kind of fixed up a little bit, got my hair did because I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. I can't even keep track of all the things I did today, and a very productive day as well. Made $413, made, what did I say, 4 new relationships, got some free mentoring, which will eventually turn into a business partnership. Did some research, and as you can see, as always, I am extremely, extremely tired, and it's almost midnight. But I couldn't let the day, I probably wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight had I not shared all this with you, and including, I left out some stuff during the times when I was at the house, either scanning or printing documents, prepping documents. My contractor has been in here all day doing some final touches, pause on the word final, on my kitchen because it's still not complete. My cabinet contractor is still sick, so we still have some finishing work to do on the cabinets, but now I actually have an installed sink and faucet and running water, which is huge. Stove's still not hooked up yet. It's still sitting over there, but I'm going to work on that on Sunday as well. So it's been a very productive day, guys. I did this long-winded video just in order to, again, provide any encouragement that I can for any of you that are considering being a notary public, becoming a mobile notary, loan signing agent, and you're hearing, oh, it's oversaturated. Oh, interest rates are up. They're not getting as, making as much money as they were. It's not worth it. It is worth it. It has led me to so many different areas of business and new opportunities for business that I wouldn't have even dreamed of. Well, maybe I did dream of it at the beginning of my journey, including just being a part of these Facebook groups, knowing how to ask questions, having some knowledge, some background knowledge of the real estate industry, just having the notary public title attached to your name was very effective in getting, in me making the contact with my new business partner, JJ, because he when he talked to me, the free 5.5 hours of mentoring, 5 hours of mentoring that he gave me, he literally mentioned that being a mobile notary and knowing what I know, being on the ground and servicing all these areas and these rural towns puts me in a great position to prospect the types of properties that wholesalers are looking for, that investors are looking for, that potentially I will be looking for when I launch the first leg of my real estate investing business, wholesaling. And I will put together a video on that topic real soon, because it is something that all of us loan signing agents can do and be as hopefully lucrative as some of the other vloggers and members of these Facebook groups that I follow. I see no reason why we can't. Okay, thanks for hanging in there and hearing my rant of my productive day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to my channel, y'all. Guys, there's so many opportunities out there for us who have been in this business with the background knowledge that we have. If you're interested in getting into the real estate industry as an investor, as a wholesaler, fix and flipper, whatever your interest might be, take the time, pick a topic, pick a niche, and start doing your research. Start doing your research, start reading, and joining Facebook groups like I mentioned earlier, putting questions out there, get your questions answered, start building your knowledge, start building your data, building your, in my case right now, starting Sunday, I'm going to build a CRM system so that I can keep track of all the leads and information that's coming in. Try to automate my process as much as possible with just simple tools like Google Docs, Google Forms. Start doing your research, guys, and put yourself in a position to set yourself up for success. And I'll stop it at this because there's, again, a whole nother video of the opportunities and the potential for making money in this market, the same market that's hurt us as loan signers, that, again, presents so much more opportunity in other areas to make money in real estate. Thanks for watching. It's the Country Notary. Talk to y'all soon.